I want you to take a moment to think about the most inspirational person in your life. I know Neil Amy at BBC Radio T's Breakfast we're talking about this morning, right? Just have a think, quick there, top of your head. First person, bet it's a woman. There you go. Because for me, it's my nana, Jenny Elliott. Jenny was a wonderful lady, born in Trimdon Grange, wife of a miner, my granddad Tommy. She brought up, she had my mum, lost 2 children, one at the age of 9, one at the age of 6 days old. Woman had a massive fortitude, and what she did for me, I was brought up by my grandparents, but my nana did something for me which I think a lot of grandparents and mums can do, is just build you that moral fibre. My nan built into me that fact that you must treat others as equals, you must treat others like you want to be treated yourself, and always give people the benefit of the doubt and forgive. Always have that belief of forgiveness. And that's why it's important that we celebrate International Women's Day, because when people from all over the globe come together to celebrate the achievements of women, we all have a story. We all have a story. And for the greater part of things, women's contributions to our lives have not been documented. So we need to unearth that. Now, for BBC Radio T, Sian Williams has been speaking to some brilliant, brilliant women from across Teesside, County Durham and North Yorkshire. Now, they are Joanne Bell, who's the Director of Industrial Solutions, Zoe Lewis, who is the Principal of the wonderful Middlesbrough College, Nikki Jolly, who's Managing Director of HR Today, and Janet Ford, who's a solicitor at Signet Law. And of course, Bianca Robinson, who's a CEO of CEO Sleep Out. Now, they've christened themselves the North East answer to loose women, and they've been discussing some of the topics that matter most to them. Now, let's start by balancing out motherhood and career.
I was made redundant the day after I gave birth to my little girl. So I actually set up a business when she was 1 day old. So she was in the office with me, inducting our new starters at 5 days old.
Wow. Good for you. That's amazing. How old is she?
She's 3 now, so she's exactly the same age as the business. So we haven't got any more children yet. We hope to have them in the future, obviously, yes, but we haven't got time at the moment.
It's amazing how many people. It's amazing how many people you speak to, though, who bring their children into work and juggle, and you know, I remember working through my maternity leave with my daughters, sort of feeding them in and out of meetings, and a lot of people frown at that, but it actually helped me stay in touch. It helped me spend a lot of time with my children, probably have a longer leave than I might have otherwise had, because I could stay in touch. So there's real benefits to working flexibly, I think, like that.
It is interesting. At the oil refinery I went back after 2 months. We brought in a contractor and it just didn't work.
Right.
And I remember that contractor ringing me the day she was born and said, can I ask a question? And I was never off the phone at that point, so I went back after 2 months, and I would take her with me. She'd just get passed her out the office, and I'd come back after a couple of hours and go, where is she then? But that maintained my relationship, and like you say, that extended my maternity, and I worked flexibly after that. I still did 60 hours a week. You just get on with it, and it was great.
I know in our firm we encourage people when they're on maternity leave to do the keep in touch days, and the girls come into the office, and they've said that they find that beneficial as opposed to having a full year off and then having to come back, and sort of things move on quite quickly in law as well. So
it's in every sector, though,
I think it is
so
in every sector for a whole year, and then having to come back, it's like starting a new job effectively, isn't it?
So it seems like we've hit on something that really can facilitate women getting ahead in their career. When a company makes a policy that allows somebody to be flexible around their childcare arrangements, bringing your child into work is the most amazing thing, isn't it? And having decent childcare means that, you know, we can crack on and actually progress while we are managing that whole family thing. And I think it's really, really important. It's one of the things that has held women back in the past. So big applause to employers who actually allow women to keep going or work in ways that work for them and their families.
Do you think there's still a way to go, or that what can we do in the future to support the next generation of mothers coming through wanting that career and motherhood?
It's really interesting because statistically now you can see, now that gender pay gap is being reported, it's very clear that it only really starts after a woman has her first child. So there isn't a gender pay gap before women have their first children, and that isn't always lack of flexibility through employers. Quite often it's personal choice. And one of the things that I feel quite strongly about around equality is that you know, women are fair and given all options, and if their option is a career break and if their option is to work part-time or to pause their career, that should be equally applauded. However, we should do as much as possible to give as many options to all women as possible, and that does mean flexible working options, it does mean part-time, it does mean still allowing to develop your career whilst you're bringing up your children.
Interestingly, I've seen in the last couple of years more men taking shared parental leave, and the reason they've done that is because their package and benefits are better, and their wives have been self-employed, so they've been able to go back and earn their income, and the men have stayed at home. So I think there is a shift, but I think we're a long way off from getting it right.
So right, it's going to be quite interesting with the coronavirus. A lot of businesses are testing. I hated to say the word, but a lot of businesses are testing this home working, aren't they? So didn't Google close its offices in Dublin?
And Nike as well.
And Nike in the Netherlands, and they've closed these big offices, testing out whether people can, the whole workforce can work remotely. And once that's proven to work, we're going to see big changes, I think. I think it will impact not only the childcare stuff, but it will impact the sustainability environment. So quite interesting. Watch the space.
A really fascinating insight there. Just a roundtable discussion of some of the most influential and brilliant women from our part of the world. And if there's a story you want to bring to us,